Hey, baby. Are you ready to move? Don't need to. I'm been out here searching for an apartment. She talked to you. I got.
Okay, so you just watched this clip, and now let's talk about it, but openly, honestly, and with care. Hi, my name is Precious. One of my bachelor's of science is in child learning and development. I'm also a teacher, specifically a second and third grade math and science teacher. This means that I've spent years studying how children grow physically, mentally, and emotionally. I work with kids every single day, so when I say what I'm about to say, I want you to know that it comes from a place of deep care and not one of judgment. When I saw this video, my heart felt a mix of emotions. On one hand, there's something so beautiful about love overcoming all the limitations. But truly speaking, on the other hand, I felt deep concern, not just for the parents, but for the baby. Let's sit with this for a second. These parents both live with a rare disability that requires constant care. They are in wheelchairs, and their daily lives already demands assistance. It demands adaptation and also continuous support. And now they've chosen to bring a child into this world knowing that the chances of the child inheriting that rare disability is extremely high. We know that parenthood is a blessing, but it's also a responsibility. And the truth is, we don't talk much about the ethical responsibility that parenthood demands, not just the financial responsibilities, not just the emotional responsibilities, but ethical responsibilities. In child learning and development, we learn that the early years are the foundation for everything. So this means emotional stability, cognitive growth, and also long-term resilience. And when parents themselves are unable to meet many of those early developmental needs, especially without help, it becomes a systemic risk, especially to the child's quality of life. I want to make one thing clear. Disabilities do not make anyone less worthy of love, joy, or even family. But knowingly passing down a disabling condition, knowing that your child will need round-the-clock care from birth, is something that we need to talk about with compassion and also with honesty. I already know that some people might say that I'm being ableist and I'm saying that people with disabilities can't have kids, and that is not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying is this: we all have a duty to pause and ask ourselves this: am I bringing a child into this world because I want to feel fulfilled, or because I fully prepared a life where they can thrive? I've worked with children who are in homes where the parents were not emotionally or physically available. Not always because they didn't love the child, but because they couldn't show up in ways that the child needed them to. And the sad part is that the child is the one that ends up carrying that burden. Children do not need perfect parents, but they need parents who are ready physically, mentally, emotionally, and ethically. Children need parents that think beyond the awe moments and ask themselves, can I give this child a life that sets them up for success and not one that guarantees suffering? This is not hate. This is not cruelty. But this is the truth. And sometimes the most loving thing that we can do is speak the truth even when it's hard. I believe in love. I believe in faith. I believe in miracles. But I also believe in science. And science tells us that certain conditions are heritable. Science tells us that certain limitations will drastically impact a child's ability to function independently. This is not pessimism, it's preparation. And this goes for everyone and not just those with disabilities. If you're not emotionally healed, if you're financially unstable, and if you're struggling to take care of yourself, pause before you bring a child into this world, because that life is not just a baby, because that life will become a child, then a teen, then an adult with needs, with dreams, with pain, and a voice. If you're watching this and you've never thought of parenting this way, I am not here to shame you. I'm here to invite you to go deeper, to realize that parenting is not just about us, but it's about them. It's about the child, the one who got no say in how they got here. We live in a society that romanticizes having kids, but doesn't really focus on the weight of raising them. And as someone who has studied child learning and development, I want us to start asking different questions. Not, do I want a baby, but can I give this child the life that they deserve and more? Because every child deserves a chance, not just to survive, but to thrive. And that requires intentional parenting, ethical parenting, and prepared parenting. Love is not just a feeling, love is a choice. And when it comes to children, love should never be selfish. It should be wise.